Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name's Katie and today I am asking the question, are cloth nappies or reusable nappies actually worth it? So today I'm going to go over a few positives and negatives about using cloth nappies and things that you should consider before embarking on the cloth nappy journey. So one of the reasons why I'm making this video is because we have gone through loads of ups and downs with using cloth nappies, and I'm happy to say we've gone through it all and we've come out the other side and we're really happy to use them now. But there are definitely loads of things that I really wish I found out before, and I've done loads of research about what to use, what type. We've done loads of trial and error experimentation, and sometimes that can be really overwhelming. So if you are watching this video, you're obviously wondering what it's like to use a cloth nappy. You either have a child already or you're pregnant with a child and you're just really considering using a cloth nappy, mostly because of environmental factors and maybe cost factors. So this is what I'm going to have a look at today. So to give you an idea of a cloth nappy and what it is and what it does and what we use at home, I thought I would just give you an idea of what we use. So all cloth nappies come in effectively a two-part scenario. So you've got the bit that absorbs and the waterproof bit that protects. So we have three different types of nappies which we're using at home. We've got the two-part scenario. This is where we've got the main nappy. So this is a big bamboo, it's made out of bamboo apparently, nappy, and this is little lamb nappies, and this is just a huge big nappy that you wrap around, and it's actually really soft, really comfortable. It's got this extra little liner that's attached, and because Aiden's a boy, what you do is you fold it in and that sits where the willy is, and then it absorbs all the wee. So on top of this is part number one, and on top of that you've got part number two, and this is the waterproof part, and you need this to make sure that this part doesn't leak onto their clothes. So you then add a little wrap. This is called a wrap, and this goes around the cloth bit of the nappy, and this basically makes sure it's nice and waterproof. You've got pocket nappies. Now this is basically not dissimilar to the wrap, but the difference is that you've got a little pocket in here. So inside this pocket you've got the absorbent part. Remember how we said we've got the absorbent part and then the protective part. This is the protective part, this is the absorbent part. So you can get these, and these are basically the bit that sucks up all the moisture, and they come in loads of different materials. So this is microfiber, this is a bamboo Mio one. You can get bamboo, you can get charcoal if your baby has a bit of a smelly poo. But basically what happens is that this bit goes and folds and goes in here into the little pocket, and then this goes around the baby's bum, and there you have it. So this is it. So you've got your pocket and then the bit that goes in to make sure that all the wee is soaked up. You then finally have the all-in-one part. So these are Bambino Mio ones. If you watch my video on 5 things we bought this time, these are the ones we bought. And these basically come in, are all-in-one nappies. So unlike the others where it comes in 2 parts, this one's got everything in it already. So as you can see, you've got the nappy, you've got the waterproof liner to make sure it doesn't go, and then you've got the insert where it's already attached, it's all ready, all in one. Bob's your uncle, Fan's your auntie. That just goes straight in the wash, and then this is your nappy. So we've had real ups and downs with the different nappies that we've used. I started off the Bambino Mio ones and I was really excited about using them, but if you see my review on the 5 things we bought, I noted that there was loads of leaks. I didn't think the fit was very good. I found them all a bit stiff, and basically I don't think Aiden particularly liked wearing them. I was really sort of discouraged with using them. I would quite often go back to using disposables, which really annoyed me because I could see how quickly our nappy bin was filling up, and I just hated the idea of all of that going to landfill. But I persevered, and actually what I did is I found the little lamb nappies, and they've made such a difference. This is such a change, but they are quite pricey. So and they take ages to dry because they're so absorbent. They just take a really really long time to dry. And then I had a friend recommend me the pocket ones. We've found that these are really good during the day when Aiden's crawling all around, but they're not very good with him with sleeping. So it's taken us massive ups and downs to get to this point, but I'm happy to say that because we've done a lot of trial and error, we now have a really nice balance, and I only now ever put Aiden in a disposable nappy at night. So as I already mentioned, one of the main reasons why people want to use cloth nappies or reusable nappies is because of the environmental factors. Just one nappy can take up to 500 years to decompose, which is insane. And to think that each child can go through anywhere between 5,000 and 7,000 nappies within their sort of nappy using lifetime, you know, if they're using them up to 2.5 years and then they get potty trained. Just think of the buildup of nappies that are landing in landfill and just filling up our planet. So when I first started using cloth nappies, I gave myself the aim to just use 2 a day, and I did the calculation, and even that meant I was actually saving 1,825 nappies going to landfill just by using 2 a day. So it makes a huge impact on the environment and all the waste that we're generating just by doing these really simple changes and small little changes. So obviously those are the obvious environmental factors, but obviously there are cost factors as well. Actually, with all the hype about how much reusable nappies cost, actually over the 2.5 average period that you use nappies, it actually saves you money. And there's loads of information out there. moneyexpert.org.uk suggests that you save money. The nct.org.uk also says you save money, and that's including the cost of electricity and water that it takes to actually wash and dry them. So if your child also is prone to eczema or nappy rash, if they're teething, actually the natural fibres in reusable nappies are excellent for babies' bums. They're much better for the skin because it's full of natural fibres rather than the synthetic ones that disposable nappies have. So the last added little perk is that babies who wear reusable or cloth nappies do tend to potty train faster than babies with disposable nappies, because they're able to feel when they're wet a lot better, and this is the cue for them to go. So that's an extra little perk, is that not only do you end up not wasting money by buying more nappies because they are potty training faster. So obviously there are also negatives with using reusable nappies. One of the obvious things is that you have to do loads more cleaning. It feels like your washing machine is on constantly, and especially if you've got 2 children or even just one, you feel like you're doing cleaning and washing constantly as it is. But unfortunately that's added to if you're having nappies to wash as well. And as you all know, just like clothes washing, it's not just shoving them in the wash. You then got to dry them, make sure they're fully dry, which can take a long time, especially if you don't have a tumble dryer in your house. And then it's all the sorting, the folding, the putting away, and it all adds time to your day. Then there are the initial startup costs. So although over time, over the 2.5 or average period time it takes to potty train child, yes, it does save money, but the initial startup cost can be quite pricey, especially if you don't really know what you're buying. So if, like me, you go ahead and buy a lot of one type of nappy and it doesn't end up being very useful, or you don't get on with them, that's a huge startup cost. So just to give you an idea of the kind of cost, we have the little lamb ones that we use quite regularly now. So this nappy can cost around £10.50 new, and then the wrap can, these are Tot Bots, which is a different brand, but they're made in the UK, they're really cute, but they are around £12 for the wrap. So putting them together, you're looking at about £23 just for one nappy. The Bambino Mio ones that we use occasionally but not as much anymore, these can range anywhere between £12 and £15 new. So would you believe that the cheapest ones out there, these are called Littles and Blooms, and these are the pocket nappies, and without a liner they cost about £3, which is so cheap, and with a bamboo liner they cost around £5. So they're super cheap actually for what you get. But as I said, they're not quite as absorbent as some of the other nappies I've come in contact with, but they are really comfortable and really cheap. So if you're looking for something to experiment with and you want to buy just a couple to see if you like them or not, or if baby likes them, then I really recommend getting these first. So with reusable nappies, there have been a tendency for leakages if you don't know how to balance the amount of padding and the amount of liners and experimenting different liners, and what you might find is that leaks happen quite regularly, especially if you're trying to establish that balance. This obviously means extra washing, extra clothes, extra putting stuff away, and this all adds up to your day, especially when you're already doing everything else on top of that. Reusable nappies aren't great, especially if you're traveling a lot, bearing in mind that you need to go somewhere that is able to wash and dry them effectively. And if you're going on holiday or if you travel around a lot in general, then sometimes it's not an easy thing to shove these reusable nappies with you because you're going to have to clean them on the other side. The cost of using them obviously is an issue. You've got the extra electricity, the extra water, and as I mentioned, this does add up to being cheaper overall if you do use them. But if you're very wary of the amount of electricity and water and you're a bit of a tight budget with those, it is something to consider. And clothing, which I know sounds a bit daft, but these nappies can be a little bulky, and if you're specific clothes for your baby that obviously can't fit over a reusable nappy and they are quite padded, again, it's just something that you never think of until you end up having to buy extra clothes to accommodate the nappy. So just a few things for you to consider before embarking on using reusable or cloth nappies. Are you willing to put the time in for trial and error of using them and trying them? Unfortunately, with cloth nappies, it isn't one size fits all. There are loads out there, and there's a very good reason for that. Not all of them can fit your baby and won't be good for your baby, and you might find that you go through 3 or 4 tries of using different reusable nappies before you find the right one. Do you have the initial startup cost? Again, they can be pricey to begin with, so if you buy them in bulk, then make sure you've got the right one. If you cannot afford the initial startup cost, buy a few cheap ones, see if they're right for you, see if you're willing to put the time in. Also, there are reusable nappy libraries throughout the country in the UK, and there are also great incentives, council incentives, which give you money towards buying reusable nappies to save disposable nappies going to landfill. So make sure you look at your local council website to see if they can put money towards you or give you a voucher to buy reusable nappies. So do you also have the time and the energy to wash, dry and put away these nappies constantly? Because it does feel like a bit of a churning situation where you are just simply washing, drying, putting away all the time. And if you don't have the time for that because you're working or you've got multiple children or you're just balancing life stuff on top of it all, then yeah, don't put that extra stress on yourself. Do you have the support from people around you? And this is really important, that you've got someone or people around you who are there to encourage you to use these reusable nappies, and they understand what your vision is in using them. If you've got someone who's there saying, oh no, I don't know why you're using that, or oh, I'm not going to use that on your baby if you're not around, that's not going to give you very much confidence in using them. So make sure you speak to your partner or your parents or grandparents, and maybe any care staff if you've got a childminder or a nursery staff, and see how they feel, and trying to get them on board is really important to knowing how you feel and how often you're going to use these reusable nappies. And I mentioned about clothes, so just make sure you look at your baby's clothes and just think, actually, am I going to have to buy a whole new wardrobe for baby just to be able to fit around these big bulky nappies? And if the answer is yes, then maybe it's worth waiting until baby is the next size up and you've got to buy clothes anyway, and you think actually now is the time that I can start using these reusable nappies and change the clothes to make sure they accommodate it. So just make sure you pick a time that's right for you and your family to be able to fit this around your life, because it is quite a big thing. It's not an easy thing to just do it and decide. You've got to make sure that your life can accommodate this, because it is extra work, it is extra money, it is extra faff, but in the long run, it's totally worth it. If you've got any questions, please leave a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to hear from advice and who uses what. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please, as I said, leave a comment below and hit the subscribe button, and we hope to see you again soon. Okay.